Now everything tightens into a deeper layer, one that most creators ignore until they hit a wall. The reality of the algorithm itself, not as a mystery or a hidden force working against you, but as a system that follows one simple principle. It only amplifies what people already respond to, and if your content is not being pushed, it is not because it is suppressed, it is because it has not yet proven that people want it. And this is where the illusion breaks, because the algorithm is not judging you, it is observing behavior. Every time your video is shown to someone, it becomes a small test, a moment where the system watches what happens. Do they click? Do they stay? Do they engage? And based on these signals, it decides whether to show it to more people. And this process repeats again and again, expanding or shrinking your reach depending on how your content performs. This means growth is not random. It is iterative, built through layers of testing and validation, where each stage depends on the strength of your results in the previous one. And if your video fails early, it does not move forward no matter how much effort you put into it. Most creators misunderstand this and look for shortcuts, tricks, or hacks. But the truth is far simpler and far more demanding. There are no shortcuts, only alignment. Alignment between what your content offers and what the audience responds to, and without that, nothing scales. The algorithm does not care about your intentions, your effort, or your potential. It only cares about outcomes, measurable behavior that indicates satisfaction, and this is why data becomes your most valuable asset, because it tells you exactly how your content is being received. Click-through rate shows whether your idea and packaging are strong enough to attract attention, retention shows whether your content is strong enough to keep it, and engagement shows whether it resonates deeply enough to provoke action, and together these signals form the foundation of growth. When you start analyzing these metrics consistently, patterns begin to appear. You see which topics perform better, which styles hold attention longer, which structures lead to stronger engagement, and this insight allows you to refine your approach with precision. But this requires patience because not every video will succeed, not every experiment will work, and progress is often uneven. But over time, as you learn and adjust, the overall trend begins to rise, and that is what matters. The key is to treat every upload as part of a larger system, not as an isolated attempt, because growth on YouTube is cumulative. Each video contributes to your understanding, your positioning, and your audience relationship. And as your understanding deepens, your decisions become sharper, you stop guessing and start predicting, you stop reacting and start planning, and this shift is what separates creators who struggle from those who scale. Another important layer is consistency of performance, not in terms of frequency, but in terms of quality signals, because the algorithm favors creators who deliver reliable results, who consistently produce content that meets audience expectations. This reliability builds trust with the system itself, increasing the likelihood that your future videos will be tested more aggressively, giving you more opportunities to grow, but this trust must be earned through repeated success. At this stage, your channel begins to stabilize, growth becomes less volatile, less dependent on single hits, and more driven by a steady flow of well-performing content, and this stability is what allows long-term expansion. You start to notice that your videos gain traction faster, that your audience responds more predictably, that your efforts feel more efficient, and this is the result of alignment between your strategy and the system you are operating within. Because in the end, the algorithm is not something you beat, it is something you work with, something you understand. And once you align your content with the signals it measures, growth stops feeling uncertain and starts becoming a process you can repeat, refine, and scale with confidence.